Goldman's Lloyd Blankfein wearing a halo today. Let's talk to Reuters correspondent Ernie Scheider. Ernie, Barron's saying Goldman Sachs shares could rally 25% next year. Shares are up nearly 5% today.
Big vote of confidence, Lisa, from the very, very influential Barron's newspaper out this past weekend, basically voicing strong confidence that Goldman can do it. Few things that I'm observing here right now, though, is, Goldman is the strongest bank out there right now. It's really big into investment banking. There's a lot of money to be made there right now. Goldman has a reputation for strong capital management, for strong leadership with Lloyd Blankfein and his team.
Right.
They are polarizing, love them or hate them. They have a reputation for really executing well. So in some sense, it's not totally surprising that Barron's came out and threw its weight behind what is considered the best in class in the banking sector.
Sure.
And let's also admit we need banks. As unpopular as they are, as much as Occupy Wall Street hates them, they do serve some function in our economy that can't be, ignored. So to come out and basically throw your weight behind the best and strongest run bank is perhaps not all that surprising, or all that groundbreaking.
Right.
What I'm interested in seeing is what this means for the smaller banks, like the Bank of Americas, the Cities, even the Merrills, which is a smaller competitor.
We'll have green arrows today across the board for everybody.
So definitely the whole sector reacting positively to this news right now, grasping for anything positive you can get out there. And so, Bank of America up 3%, really positive sign.
Well, the financials today leading the green arrows up in U.S. stocks. I see the Dow's up over 140 points today.
1%, huge.
As we start to kick off the fourth quarter. Now, part of this comes off the ISM manufacturing data, which got a bump this month for the first time in 3 months.
Increased manufacturing activity, but if I could, kind of go against the grain here, if that's
go for
okay.
it.
I'm just harking back to last week when Caterpillar, world's largest heavy equipment maker, came out and basically slashed its 2015 forecast. So Caterpillar really has eyes kind of around all regions of the world, and so they're basically saying they see anemic growth through 2015. Obviously they don't make clothes or other things, but they make the equipment that helps make bridges and tunnels and other big, the backbones of big economies out there right now. So I'm sort of contrasting that. This ISM data is for 3 months, but Caterpillar basically did a weak forecast for the next 3 years.
Right.
Got to juxtapose those.
All right, well, let's go back to some good news. And while we were talking about Goldman, they're one of the underwriters of a latest IPO comes from Workday. Friday, we talked about how there's been an IPO uptick. Workday, which is a cloud-based human resource software company, announcing it's, mid-October?
Yes, so mid-October it's going to come out. So Workday was founded by PeopleSoft alum, and PeopleSoft was sold to Oracle in 2004. Right. So you can see these alums, they sort of stayed in the HR space right now. And what's really cool about Workday is it basically lets you access your data on a range of devices. So your iPad, your Android enabled device. So it basically allows kind of seamless integration of HR software out there right now. Very, very interesting to see where it'll go and what it'll mean.
Under the Jobs Act, very quickly, because we've seen a lot of these IPOs come up under the Jobs Act, which President Obama signed just in April.
Yeah, so very, very recently signed, a lot of companies jumping on board and really trying to take advantage of it. It basically gives smaller companies breathing room ahead of their IPOs. So, when you launch an IPO, you have to put out a lot of detailed financial information. This lets these companies sort of shield it up until about 20, 21 days right before their IPO. Workday going to go public in about 10 days, so their big info is out there right now, but it just gives them more breathing room.
Okay, let's move to the hot spot.
Check it out.
And let's look at some shares that are really jumping. Ceradyne up 43%, being taken over by...
It's not a big jump.
Not a big jump. Taken over by 3M, who realizes that it can't build the world with just Scotch tape and Post-it notes.
Try as they may. So 3M obviously has a huge reputation for diversity in its business line. With this deal for Ceradyne, though, it gets a big maker of ceramic parts, and that's sort of...
Which is? Tell us about ceramic parts.
It's not from your 8th grade art class.
Not a pottery class.
Exactly. So these go into catalytic converters in cars, spark plugs. They also have big applications in oil and natural gas drilling. So, kind of a very lucrative areas. People are buying more cars now. Ford, GM, Chrysler, all positing an increase in sales the next few years. Oil and natural gas drilling, obviously, kind of with fracking, more and more popular. So, it seems like 3M is making a strategic move here to help further diversify away from Post-its.
All right, you mentioned fracking. Let's stay on the fracking front here because Honeywell is paying $520 million in cash for privately held Thomas Russell, which makes equipment used in natural gas production.
Yeah, so buying the majority stake there in the company, and basically...
Right, 70%, yeah.
Yeah, right around there. And so basically, Honeywell is making a big bet that even though natural gas prices are falling because of fracking, that natural gas drillers will still need supplies out there right now, and so they'll still buy. So as long as natural gas drilling itself stays up, they're going to be, further diversified and further rolling in the money. Right.
Honeywell up 2.5% today. Okay, and we are going to end our show on the big news that the Yahoo CEO, Marissa Mayer, had her baby boy. Her husband tweeted it.
Yes, where else do you announce it but Twitter? So, Yahoo has one more employee right now.
They're up at a head count. And now here's the dilemma, I think. Do you put the baby pictures on Facebook, or do you put it on Yahoo-owned Flickr that she's trying to revive?
It's a big choice. We'll see. I'm going to throw a wrench into that question with more of those. So Yahoo has a strategic partnership with Microsoft, and Microsoft owns a big stake in Facebook.
What a tangled web we weave, as they say. Okay.
Exactly.
Ernie Scheider, thanks so much for being with us. Remember, speaking of Twitter, follow us on Twitter at Reuters Insider and check out our Reuters YouTube channel. That is Reuters.com/ReutersTV. I'm Lisa Bernhard. This is Reuters.